I'm gonna give Brian Adams a shout out. All Women International Nuno, and this is Brian Adams. That's on YouTube.
Hey, why don't we do some
Hey man. What's going on, guys? So this week I got quite a bit of footage, almost all my big lifts for that matter. So yeah, let's check it out. This was Tuesday, so I traveled to Texas Tech. You see I was racking my tech gear like most of this week while I was training. So this was Tuesday, the first day that I trained. Felt really good on this day. This was a 350 for 5, I believe, which was 5 pounds up from last week, and that's a PR for 5 reps for me. This week, hopefully I remember to do this, put this on my video. I've been trying out a new kind of warm-up. I'm not going to make a whole video talking about my warm-up, stuff like that, but for the most part, I think like people do way too much crap when they warm up. I don't think you need to roll on a foam roller for 20 minutes and do soft tissue work and all this stuff, and your warm-up should pretty much take care of any restrictions that you have, and then make sure you're ready to perform. So, I mean, today is Sunday. This will come out tomorrow. For any of you guys that watch football, watch NFL football players warm up. They're not rolling on a foam roller. They are doing high knees and karaoke and getting themselves ready to perform at a high level. So you should be sweating. That's kind of how you should warm up. But anyways, I do have a hip sequence that I do for about 2 or 3 minutes that's kind of static, kind of dynamic, in a way that I got from Kelly Starrett. I'm not even going to post a video of me doing it because it's just pure, pirate from him. So I'll post a link on this page sometime during this video, a link to that. Again, it's not going to treat all of your problems, but if you have tight hips like I do quite often, it makes a great deal of difference for me. Again, it's not making me any stronger. It's just kind of allowing me to express my full strength potential, if that makes sense. So what you just saw there was a 390 triple pull. I believe I hit 385 last week. Maybe it was 380. Either way, it was a pretty big PR for me. That was another great day. So I think every single day that I trained this week, I hit a PR, which is just phenomenal. This was my higher rep squat day here. So this was usually 6 to 8 reps, and on this day I just kind of wanted to go a little bit heavier, and I believe this was the 345 set. I hit it for 2 sets of 6. Yeah, and this is feeling really good. Like I said, especially squats this week, all 3 of my squat sessions went really well after doing that. I believe he calls it the super squat hip sequence or something. Usually something is feeling kind of tight on my squats, even though I get good depth and stuff, but this week I just felt like I was ready to go at all times. Maybe I'll post a quick video, not of just the hip sequence that I've been doing, but just maybe like a 5 to 10 minute example of what I do to warm up. But again, it's not going to be ideal for everyone, but we'll give people an idea of what I mean by not just doing foam rolling for 20 or 30 minutes, but actually getting your body ready to perform at a high level. Just because I feel like a lot of people, it's good that a lot of people have realized that they do have restrictions and things like that, but anytime that something like that comes out, like Kelly Starrett gets popular and stuff, you have the people that just go like way overboard, and now they're just like foam rolling more than they're working out kind of a thing. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up on that. Maybe I'll get around to making that video sometime next week. And this was overhead press, so I've been doing this also. Also, you can see my shirts that I came in a few days ago. I got them in white and gray. Again, so if my clients are watching this video, you guys will have your shirts coming out next week. But yeah, this is that 140. My overhead press this isn't even a PR for me. My overhead press is not as strong as it used to be. But again, I just haven't put that much emphasis on it as I've been benching. So this was Friday. This was another big PR for me. So I was going for 390 for 5 here, which would have been a 10-pound PR, I believe, for 5. I think my best 5 is 380. Similar kind of problems I was having. I believe I talked about this last week as far as not finishing the lift with my hips, but kind of like shrugging it at the top, which, the lifts, see if you see me kind of pull back there and like flex my tricep. I need to learn just to have more speed past my knee, and pull it to my knee and then just extend my hip. And this is my roommate here who is pulling with me. So he's pulling sumo here, and he hit this for 5. I think this is 390 for 5. And this is just some back off work here. So we hit like 3 sets of 6 to 8 at 85% of my 4, I guess, on this day. One thing that I do notice that I had kind of another bad habit of when I train with the higher rep deadlifts is I won't drop my hips. I kind of get in a rush in between reps, and I'll start to be a little bit more horizontal and not have my chest up as much as I can. So you see me when I slow down, I tend to shove my hips back and get my chest up a little bit more. And if you guys didn't like tier 1 already enough, I found out another great use for them is to put chalk in the tier 1 container. So I actually empty my tier 1 container, put it in something else, and I put my like chalk balls in there so it doesn't get all over my back. So that's a quick tip for you guys if you have trouble with your chalk. And I also got some new socks. You can see here these Rogue Fitness socks because I have a pretty bad habit. I guess not a bad habit, kind of a good habit of tearing out my shins when I pull. So that helped a little bit. And lastly, this was yesterday. I believe I set a squat and bench PR. I know I hit a squat PR. You'll see the bench as well. But this was my first working set for squat. This 355 just kind of flew up fairly easy, so I just doubled it because I knew I had a lot more in the tank. Feeling really good on this day. And then, so not last week because that's kind of my strange heavy day for me. But 2 weeks ago I hit 365 for 3 sets of 3. So I was going for at least 1 set of 3 of 370. And this first set wasn't very hard. I definitely probably had another rep or 2 in me. But I'm trying to work more on volume with squats, so I'd rather hit 3 sets of 3 than maybe like 1 set of 5 and have to back down from there. So I feel like I respond really well to volume. That's kind of my approach right now. And this was another set of 3 here. Pretty much the same as far as how difficult it was. At no point during the set that I think I wasn't going to hit the third. So I probably have another 5 or 10 pounds in me. And yeah, just going to keep working to PR by 5 pounds. I did that on all 4 of my squat and deadlift sessions, and then I think on bench press I might have done that as well. I'm not really I can't record bench press as easily as the squat and the deadlift. So this was the bench pressing from yesterday. So this wasn't the PR. I think this was just 210. That was my first set. One of the things I did notice from pausing though is that I have a much better form. My elbows tend not to flare up as much. So that's a good thing about pausing. And whenever you switch back from pause to touch and go, everything just feels super, super light. This was, I believe this is a PR set as far as a pause for me, 225 for 4. Bench press has always been my more difficult lift now that I've actually deadlift frequently, so this is pretty good for me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Again, if you want a shirt, you can just hit me up and I may end up ordering some more. Thanks for the support as always, guys, and I will see you next week.
Good set.